I read World War Z for the first time. That was really good. A little
It is
outside of
good.
my normal, but
It is
quite
good.
good. I
Did
have
you
not
notice
watched
how
the
he
movie.
just does not like social media in that book? It is
Oh yeah.
conspicuously absent.
Yeah.
He mentions internet forums, but I was like, the one thing, because it comes
The
out in
Japanese guy.
2006, the Japanese guy has a forum, right? But it
Yeah.
barely touched on. But it's always thing I noticed is like, I don't, because that's why I don't think a zombie apocalypse would last very long in today's society. Because the second hashtag shoot him in the head starts to trend, it's over.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
over.
Really good book. I actually ended up reading it in an afternoon because I don't know. Andrew, do you remember when I missed my train? It was a situation where I was trying to go back down south from DC, missed the earlier train because there was a mix-up with the pet issue. Because
Oh,
I had
God,
Pablo.
yes, I remember that.
And I ended up sitting in a park across from Union Station for 7 hours because I was new to the city and didn't really know how to get home. So, and I guess I didn't fully understand how long that was going to be. Anyway, I read the whole book. It was really good. Definitely worth it. Max Brooks is a really cool guy in person as well. I've heard him speak. He actually goes to a lot of international relations conference. I can't say a lot, a few international relations conferences, and speaks on sort of cataclysmic events and our response times to those things like that, which is really interesting for a fiction writer. I also read
And the son of Mel Brooks.
And the
I'd be
son of
curious
Mel
what
Brooks.
he has to say about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find any of his lectures online. I'm not sure if they're available, but if they are, I'll definitely throw those in the show
I'd like
notes
to
and
take
send
a
them
look
to you.
at them.
I read Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell after I started it on Netflix and realized that it was a 6-episode miniseries made by, I think, the BBC. I know it was British. I'm not sure if it was BBC. And then I realized it was based, I watched 2 episodes or an episode and a half, realized it was based on this book, bought the book, read the book, loved it, and then went back and finished the series.
This is Tracy, everyone. She's like, oh, it's a book? Let me stop watching the show and read the book. Whereas like 90% of the planet goes, you mean if they picked up the book, like, you mean to tell me it's a TV show without subtitles? Fuck do I need this book for?
Well,
That's Game of Thrones right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
You want me to read 1,800 pages? Fuck that. I'm going to watch 10 hours. I'm going to watch 20 hours of movie or a television show.
Tits. I'm going to get dick and tits.
The first 2 seasons were actually really close to the books. After that, it goes off the rails.
Yeah, but there's also tits and dicks in it.
They're in the book too. Use your imagination.
You can't read tits. It doesn't matter. Unless it's Braille. I wonder if you
Unmentionable.
2 big bumps on the page. Oh, those must be the boobies.
Wow. I need to send you to Belgium sometime. They make them out of chocolate. It's very interesting. I've got like a cream center. Have you seen these?
Books or boobs? What are we talking
Boobs.
about?
Totally boobs.
Belgian women have chocolate boobs?
An interesting idea, but not exactly. And then I read Unmentionable, which is not technically nonfiction, but written in a very easy to read style. And it was about this sort of crap that Victorian wealthy women, she doesn't really delve into, the average peasant woman, but things that Victorian women had to put up with, including not washing their hair. And then Fingersmith, which was about it's sort of a fantastical representation of early 1800s Victorian England, but it's about a lesbian couple and the way they get together and that kind of thing. The worst book that I read in 2016 was Wicked. I loved the show, the Broadway show, and I was super excited to read the book. Happened to find it, I think, in a thrift store, bought it for $2 or $3 and was totally miserably disappointed. It's so preachy. I'm not entirely certain what the point is, except that basically the main character is a revolutionary, but in the worst way. Like, she doesn't seem to care who died, the collateral damages, as long as she can raise a ruckus and bring chaos. So was kind of disappointed in that one. You had some interesting books too, Andrew. The Tetris Effect, I think you were talking about.
Yeah, I did. Tetris Effect, I got it in New York Comic Con. Actually, I got 2 books there about the history of how Tetris came to the West, which are, I've gotten through the one. The other one's a graphic novel I haven't touched yet. But the Tetris Effect is a really fascinating read. I finally got through 10 Cent Plague, which is very nice, about the history of the 1950s comic book scare and the lead into that. I've actually done a lot of audiobooks this year. I actually just finished up a couple of them yesterday while I was doing some housework. That's kind of been my way of getting books that I don't want to sit and read, but I want to have the content, like Star Wars books.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste 2 weeks. I say waste, but I don't want to sit and read a Star Wars book for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can't really clean the house while you're reading.
Right, but I can sit and and it's fairly mindless fiction, so I can put this on and do stuff and listen to it in the car on the way to work and stuff. And it takes me a couple of weeks to get through it, but I get through it and it's pretty good. No, I've actually gone through quite a number of audiobooks this year. I mean, including a couple of nonfiction. I went Paris 1919, and there was one, I'm drawing a blank on what it's The Bully Pulpit, which is William Howard Taft, Theodore Roosevelt, and the rise of modern media.
Yeah, that sounds very cool.
It's a fantastic book. Very, very interesting. So yeah, no, I mean, they've gotten some reading done, but not nearly as much as Tracy. So.
What are you